All right. Hello. Stacey here from Living Well with Essential Oils, and I got my beautiful friend with me, Tania Deller. Hey, babe.
Hi, how you going? Thanks for having me.
Oh, it's
It's great
great.
to talk oils with you.
It totally is great to talk oils, and it's so good to do this together. Tanya is from Earthly Living, and I know she's got some great stories and tips on how to deal with the emotions and the moods and all of that. So that's why I thought it was really great for us to do this together and just chat. We're going to be talking about some of our favorite oils. I've got young kids. Tanya's on the other side of, what do you call that? They're on the flip side of
Of parenting, kind
your
of. I've
parenting.
got two younger teenage children, so 14 and 15, and then I've got an older teenager, 19, who's also about to be a mum herself. And just through that process has really started to rely on the oils for her own uses and benefits and moods and being able to get through.
Oh, absolutely. That's one thing that I didn't have was my oils during my pregnancies, and I wish I'd had just to be able to deal. I guess we're looking at we want some emotional stability here, and this is where the oils and emotional aromatherapy really comes in to play. I didn't have them when I had young kids, and we're 3 under 3. I had some probably really low times, and I dealt with them, but I don't know how. And so I love that we can bring what we know to chat about these oils. And we're going to be focusing on the ones that you're seeing right now: console, forgive, peace, passion, and cheer.
And motivate.
And motivate. Oh, yeah. I would say they're probably up there with my favorites. They're generally with me. These are the 6 here, 5 mils that are always kept in the house and ready to go in our diffuser. But then, Tanya, have you got yours? These are mine that are with me wherever I go.
Yes.
Have you got a
These
pouch?
are some. I've got the whole roller bottle kit, exactly like what Stacey has. They're usually on me in my handbag, ready to go, so I do use them throughout the day. But I'm missing a few because my daughter has.
She's got them
hidden
now.
them.
Yeah.
And she takes them to school with her in her bag, and she uses them actually for emotional and mood support while she's at school during her school day, which has made a big difference for her.
Fabulous. That's what we want to hear, well, that our kids are empowered, they're ready, they've got these tools, and they're in their backpacks ready to go. So let's dive into looking a little bit about emotional aromatherapy, what it is, for those of you who may or may not know about it. Let's hope this next slide works. Here we go. So using essential oils for emotional benefit. What are some of the moods? Have you got some moods in your home that show themselves more regularly than other times?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I'm actually probably the moodiest person in the house. I have always been moody. I've always been told I've been moody right from childhood up to adulthood. Generally, moods is something that has been something that's going on that I haven't got quite a handle of, or I'm not understanding within myself. And it comes out, obviously, in your moods that is displayed. So
your actions.
Anger, frustration, getting really down on myself. I think as a woman and a parent, I expect as women to do so much, and I think we put a lot of pressure on ourselves. So absolutely. That creates moods and tiredness. We cope and deal with a lot every single day. Frustration, sadness, the fear of failure.
Yeah.
Disappointment, absolutely. There's a lot of that, and it can come out. My moods can be, I go really, really quiet because I'm worrying with something, or I'm just like the heaviness of, grief and things like that, just not feeling emotionally stable. Or, there are days where, they're just, it doesn't matter. There could be good things happening throughout the day, but you can't feel the joy. You can't seem to bring that joy out or feel that joy, and that plays on you as well. So it's being able to, in those moments, pull out oils and help to level you out and bring you out of the stuck state, whether it be the mood or emotional, but getting out of being stuck.
Because you want to stay there. You've got your children you want to enjoy. You've got your husband you want to experience life with. So we get stuck there. We deal with it, but we need to get out of it. We don't want to linger and get in that dark hole. And how long have you had your oils now for?
I've had my oils for just over 2 years, probably 2.5 years now, and I could not do life without them. Absolutely
I know.
not. I don't know how it happened beforehand, but yeah.
When you were dealing with those moody times, you kind of go, how did I deal with that? How did I deal with kids that were so little and got sick all the time and were not sleeping? How did I do that without the oils? It probably wasn't.
Just shove it down. Shove it down and just try to get on with it. But there was no tools for me to be able to go to do something about it. At least with the oils, you've got them there. They actually really do work to make you feel better, but you're physically doing an action of, you're doing an action to deal with it. You're doing an action which makes you feel less powerless. So this actually gives you a little bit more control. It gives you more power actually.
It totally empowers you. You were very accurate statement there. And well, these has been around for such a long time. The essence of aromatherapy and how it works, and we can really use it as a powerful tool to be able to step out of that situation, step out of that emotion, and to be able to deal with it and move on, So history, you can see here, it was used in Greece and in India for many rituals and religious practices. The term aromatherapy was actually officially coined in the 20th century, and for maybe around the 80s, I think 70s or 80s, aromatherapists were actually highly sought after, and it was an honourable profession. I feel like there's been a bit of a change now. However, the information that is still coming out is supporting the aromatherapy benefits. So you don't have to be an aromatherapist to get maximum benefit out of your oils. Some information, some guidance from myself or Tania as doTERRA wellness advocates who are committed to sharing and educating, and you'll be well on your way to be able to use these. I've actually, just on a side note, very slowly, there is an online aromatherapy course that I've committed to doing, and it's been, so far I've only done 4 modules, and it's online, but it was for me. It's just for me to know more about this historical and how to actually apply aromatherapy more. So the way that emotional aromatherapy works, and Tania, come in anytime, is that basically it produces a chemical response, and it triggers in the brain and then helps to create a personal experience. So for me, I smell roses, I'm automatically taken back to the day I married my husband, and I can visualize standing at the altar we had bouquets of flowers around us, and I'm back in that moment. And it, releases then feelings, and then I might go, do you remember our wedding? Do you remember how this was? And do you remember how good I looked? And do you remember, because all of a sudden it's with fondness and joy and love that I'm feeling very secure and confident, and that takes me back. And that is why, how is it working in our body to produce this chemical response through? Have you got some
through smelling? Yeah, absolutely. Just through smelling. So even though we're talking about the oils, the essential oils, just by, as you mentioned, the flowers, smelling roses, there are essential oils in every single plant that you smell. So when you're using it in your cooking, when you're walking past a bush, where anything, if you were to press a leaf between your fingertips, you're actually, the scent that you're smelling is the essential oils of that plant. So this is exactly the same thing, and it does, you know, jasmine in bloom at a certain time of year, you know, would bring back, when you're smelling our jasmine essential oil, would bring back those memories when you were surrounded by jasmine plants, or it might have been from a favourite house and you were growing that and you loved seeing it in the bloom. So little things like that, it actually, there is lots of scientific studies and that have been published about the responses that it does trigger within the brain and to bring about memories. So just by smelling chia, when I gave it to my sister, brought back memories from our childhood of opening up a My Little Pony, you know, My Little Pony packet. So when we first took it out of the packet and you got that smell because they were scented, so that's instantly brought her back there and brought back those memories.
Oh, wow.
So it's a powerful, powerful thing.
Absolutely powerful, and we need to use those effectively. And the oils are an amazing way to be able to do that. So when we pop it, and Tania did this before, we often, one way that we love to use our oils is just to drop in our palm, take a big breath, and through the respiratory system, so breathing it in through the respiratory system and through the olfactory system here, that is actually allowing the essential oils to get into
the limbic system of our brain.
System of the brain. So which is a really difficult part to get to. It's kind of like right behind your eyes, right behind your head, like you can't get to it any other way besides this way here. So the limbic system controls those moods and emotions and memories. So you take a big breath and something, this, as it says here, a chemical response happens.
Yes. So what happens is the essential oil molecules, it's actually the molecules that attaches to the little hairs in your nose, and then it converts onto the other side and then sends that chemical message. So it's not actually the oil that you're smelling goes up into your brain for clarification, but it is the chemical message that that oil contains that sends it to the limbic system. So you can be, by just doing that, again, you can be triggering memories, or you could actually use your essential oils, ones that are a favorite for you, to actually create an emotional response for yourself. So to anchor in an emotion that you're wanting to feel. So for an uplifting oil, if you are stuck in a rut or stuck in the dumps, and you are wanting to bring about, okay, when I feel like this, I need a tool to go and use. You could use any of the citrus oils because they're also uplifting and energizing. But chia from the Emotional Aromatherapy Kit is a beautiful one to use. You could smell that and go, okay, this is what I want to feel. Smell the oil and then anchor that happy feeling into your system, and it creates a memory in your brain. So that way, next time you're feeling that way, you can go straight to that oil, and you know you can get out of the funk.
That's right. That personalized experience right here. It becomes very personal, and you almost become the master of your own emotion.
Absolutely.
And that's
you tailor it to yourself.
Empowering. Empowering. So let's why essential oils why use essential oils to manage the mood? Well, they're natural and safe. Tania mentioned before, they're derived from plants, herbs, fruit, peels, barks,
spices, leaves.
Yes. Yep. Anything that's natural and can smell, leaves, seeds, anything, and as you said, you rub them together or put it in your palm, and it's just that residue that you feel there. And they generate this quick response, and they are a really simple way to manage those emotions. So we're going to look at these 3 ways that you can use these essential oils to manage these emotions. Tania, we showed you and talked about this first one here, aromatic support. So using the aroma of the essential oil to take deep breaths, and it might not just be one. Like, you might have to be in that moment, give yourself permission, 5 deep breaths, come back in another 5 minutes and do it again to really help you get out of that slump, or just, to help level out that playing field of what you're feeling. So taking that in, what she got there, I think I can see lavender.
Yes.
It's a bit blurred, but lavender is a very mild, calming, often known for sleep, but it's actually very mild for the emotions as well. So, and supportive. So that is one that we recommend. It's in some of the blends that we're going to look at. The other way, Tania, how do you use them topically?
So topically, as shown in the picture, she's got a roller bottle. So the oils come in full bottle form, which is your straight oils, and then they come in a roller bottle form. So as you can see here, and it's actually got the essential oil in there, and it's actually topped up with fractionated coconut oil. As it's being applied topically to the skin, it has a little roller ball on the top, so it just glides straight over. You might not be able to see, and it just goes on the skin like that. So you just place it on the body wherever you're wanting to get that support. For the emotions, I definitely put it over my heart space, so on my chest, because that's where we feel everything with our heart.
Sure
also, and around the base of the skull, behind the ears, on the temples. For the emotions, as we've been saying, aromatically, it's going to the limbic system of the brain. So you're actually wanting to permeate those, the blood-brain barrier there with the essential oils, which they absolutely do. And on the wrist points.
I just love it topically because I've replaced now my synthetic fragrances as well as a result of this. So not only am I emotionally supported and I've got to choose what oils I need for that day, I know that I've also reduced, a toxic product from my home and my way of being. So it's really a nice double fold, and you hug people and they're like, oh, you smell delicious, because you put it up and around here, and it's good for them too to go and hug you. They just might need that hug plus the oil.
Absolutely. Smelling it, the oils from somebody else gives you so much benefit, and it works. So I am smelt in a good way before I'm seen, I should say.
What are you wearing today?
Yeah, and it changes every day.
It sure does.
According to my mood and according to what I know my day is like. So, they're just so versatile. My children love it. My friends love it. Everyone loves it.
They can smell us coming, and it's a good smell.
It is a good smell, absolutely. And by the act of just putting it on, you feel like you're giving yourself some self-care and nurturing, which is what we as women need.
Totally.
Self-care and nurturing. And it's such a lovely way to start the day and do during the day and before you go to bed. And
those little bucket filling activities.
Absolutely.
Yeah. The other way is internally, and we can only speak from doTERRA essential oils based on information we've learned, have been provided, and we use our essential oils internally, and we have different levels of comfortability. The lady in the picture, she's using a beadlet there, so that's a pre-formulated product, and it's a little quarter of a drop beadlet, and I think again she's using On Guard from that picture, which is immune support and health from the inside. For emotional support, there are oils like frankincense and copaiba that we are happy to either put a drop under our tongue or for a slightly less amount, a quarter of a drop, put your thumb on the top of the bottle and press it up to the roof of the mouth. Again, both of those, if you look on the bottle, and I don't have them here, but both of those say that they have a food. Oh, you're going to grab yours? Oh, great. They actually tell you on the bottle that they are a food item for flavoring purposes.
Yeah.
They say right there and then. So that gives me that comfortability. Plus, there you go. For flavoring.
Probably can't see, but it does say directions for flavoring use. Dilute 1 drop in food or liquid. And that's it. So, if you're wanting to do it like that.
Yeah. And those oils, I won't go too much into them, but those have their own significant properties to be able to support the nervous system and brain health. So 2 of those things that I personally, during my young motherhood phase, never gave any care to. And it's only later on that I realized how important that actually is. And, healthy from the inside reflects
absolutely
the outside. So let's get on to these oils. I love them, and they are 6 oils that we're going to try and focus on. And there's I think close to 250 oils within the doTERRA range. So scaling this down, keeping us focused, is going to help us really understand them quite nicely. You can see, this wheel here, this aromatherapy wheel, gives you some ideas of what ingredients are in them and what then the emotion that it correlates to. So florals, often fearful or feeling hurt. Mints, feeling insecure or being distressed. But we're going to go a little bit more through them. Can I bring your attention to the ATS, ATS, ATN, ATN? So they are some information to use them safely and effectively. Do you see an I there? Do you know what the I was? Do you remember? The I was internally, and it's not there. So these oils aren't actually designed to be taken internally. So aromatically there and topically. So the 2 ways that we've already spoken about. The S just means sensitive. So it's encouraged for you to dilute that. Same with, and the N is neat. So you can actually apply it neat. But that's just, again, that's where it's really important to work and have a doTERRA wellness advocate like Tania and myself that's committed to understanding that and pointing that out and sharing with you what's the right dilution rate for you in your home. Because as we know, look at us, we've got 2 different age brackets. And so it's good to understand those. So this emotional aromatherapy system really does, let's have a look. It contains 6 unique essential oil blends that have been carefully formulated to provide targeted emotional health benefits. Each delicate blend contains pure therapeutic grade essential oils which have been used aromatically and topically to help balance and brighten your changing moods. Just a few drops of these naturally complex, fragrant blends can elicit profound emotional response to help let you let go of your burdens, find comfort and encouragement, to inspire you to dream with passion again. Now, I tell you what, I want to be inspired to live and dream, right? So let's have a look at each one. You want to talk to me about Motivate, Tania?
So Motivate all of the blends actually are very special blends. I'd have to say I don't particularly have a favorite because they're all my favorites. But Motivate is a blend that you use when you are needing encouragement. It's got your peppermint, clementines, which is a citrus, coriander, basil, and melissa essential oils. So there's some really beautiful oils in that blend. So promoting feelings of confidence, courage, and belief. You use it when you need confidence or to counteract feelings of doubt. So it's also with peppermint in there. It is quite energizing and refreshing. So I use that most of the time before work. So this is at the beginning of my day before work when I know I've got a big day and I don't want to be doing the things in my day. Maybe I've already got it in my head that I've just got to get through the day. Well, I don't want to just feel like that. So Motivate, it peps me up. It makes me feel a whole lot better. I'm happier about the things on my to-do list throughout the day, and I get stuck into it a lot more. it does help to break out of that little bit of a brain fog that you do get when you are, you know, in the afternoon and you need a little bit more encouragement to keep going.
The 3 o'clock slump.
The 3 o'clock slump,
Yeah,
absolutely. It helps. It just helps to clear you out. Really, it uplifts you, clears you out. Coriander is such. It's not a super strong smelling oil that's in that blend. So those of you who aren't a big coriander fan,
there's not a lot there.
There's not a lot. And basil. So obviously, if you are feeling a little bit fatigued, coriander is really, really good for helping you to detox the body naturally. So, you know, when you're putting that on, you're supporting your body's natural detoxification.
Double whammy, hey? Emotions and the liver.
Absolutely. Basil is really good for your hormones and also, you know, fatigue, adrenal fatigue specifically. It's really, really good. Clementine is a citrus. Again, it's really uplifting. It's supporting your immunity, and it's,
it's a great oil. I've just been, honestly, the under the nose, so my lid was off a little bit there, and so I never want to waste any oil, and I put it right under there, and I feel really focused as well. Like I've been taking some big deep breaths while you were sharing, and it really does help you, just encourages you with what challenges you might have, really empowered. And I just love that I feel it a bit kind of like I've woken up again.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. It is a wake up blend. So if you know, great blend to do if you are exercising, doing fitness, doing sport. If you're on your feet all day,
rubbing on the feet,
keep going. You've got this, basically.
You've got this.
You know, I've got this. It's the belief around when it says feelings of confidence, courage, and belief. It's the belief, encourages you to have that belief that, I've got this. I can handle whatever comes at me today. And let's get it done. Let's get into it. I'm ready.
I love it.
So, yeah.
And, this is where the diluted topical roller balls are really great as well. Tanya and I both have our diffusers on, and sometimes we can put that some drops in from our 5 ml neat into our diffuser. But having that roller ball ready to go means that, you know, you can do it for everyone then and there, or wherever you are. You can, you know, it doesn't have to be it can be just a really subtle act is what I'm probably
Absolutely. I have mine in my pocket of my work skirt.
Great.
My pocket of my work skirt, and it comes out, and
it's there.
On it goes.
Great. On it goes. Okay, let's get on to inspiring blend. So this is different. Encouragement and inspiring is different, and these oils in the blend are different for that reason. Have you got a story where, I know you shared before about chia with your sister?
Oh yeah. So chia. Obviously, it's like, when was the last time you felt cheerful? Just cheerful. So when you're feeling cheerful, you're bright, you're feeling happy. Nothing can ruin your mood. You could be doing the most mundane tasks, and yet you could be like
the happiest of doing that because you're cheerful.
So happy, and you're just in that really nice, happy, uplifted space. And it is very, it's beautiful. It's, you know, with your wild orange, and then you've got your warmer tones of your ginger and your cinnamon, but vanilla, nutmeg, clove. It's got those spices in there too. It's just absolutely lovely.
Citrus together. And some, you know, you mentioned before about using, you know, creating your own aromatic anchor, and I love doing that. But if you don't want to do that, these are where these have been perfectly created and put together by those aromatherapists that work for doTERRA, and they've tried and tested, and these are perfect formulations. So these are really great to start with and be comfortable with using them, and kind of getting to know yourself again and acknowledging those emotions at different times. So
absolutely.
starting with this inspiring blend. A lot of people, mine's empty, okay? So it's a winner in my home, and I'm going to say most people that smell this love this as well.
Yes.
Yeah, promoting that warming, uplifting feeling to help invigorate your mood and just to give you a bit of optimism. You know, when you've got to be optimistic, maybe you've heard something some bad news. It's okay, you've got to stay optimistic, positive, believe for good things. You know, pull out your cheer uplifting blend there.
And it helps you to feel good about yourself. So this oil, I believe, too. So I had a very quick story with she's now 15, but 14-year-old daughter. When I brought this into our home, these blends, she was struggling quite a lot with, anxious feelings about what was happening at school. She was going to bed at night, and, that those feelings were staying with her, and she wasn't getting a good night's sleep. It was coming through to a dream state. It was just, it wasn't working for her. I gave her chia actually to put in her school bag at school so she could put it on at school, and she was doing that, and she was finding she was coping a lot better with her school day. But I was having a conversation with her, and she was telling me that she was putting it on before bedtime, and I said, why are you doing that? It's an uplifting oil. You don't want to be uplifted before you go to bed.
Yeah, you don't want to be all mind active.
Yeah, but she goes, but Mum, I do that, and I sleep better because I'm happier before I go to bed. So, I'm not feeling like I was, and my dreams are actually better dreams. I'm having good dreams now. It's nighttime, and I'm sleeping better, and I'm waking up happier. So it just goes to show that, that was a method. She taught me something about that.
Her way is not your way.
Each person has a different response to it, and that's how it worked for her. I have actually heard that from a couple of people. I think chia is an absolute wonderful and a must-have oil blend for girls. Primary school right up through to high school, and then beyond, because of all the spices in it as well. Through pregnancy and feeling a bit nauseated, feeling a bit nauseous due to the pregnancy. Chia is also ginger. Yeah, you've got clove there, cinnamon. The spices there actually really do help to cope with those nauseous feelings in pregnancy. So
wow, see, and I didn't know that. And that's coming out of your experience now and what you're going through now as you're watching your child.
My baby having a baby.
Yeah,
totally.
Now, if you see me that I've been looking down while Tania was talking, I'm not being rude and not listening. I have this emotional wheel, emotions and essential oils wheel. And so when we've been talking about some blends, I've been looking at finding what they mean. So I've looked here, and if you can see emotions, this is the positive properties side. So what you want to feel when you use this oil. And so the inspiring blend, it makes you want to feel passionate for whatever you have to do and empowered. So, that's those keys to be able to draw on when you're using it and going, you know what, I'm going to do, again, coming back to what Tania said, I'm going to do this, we can do this, we got this. Sometimes just looking at it, having it down on paper and go, okay, all right, I know what I want. The other one we mentioned, it was coriander, and that was the oil of clarity and integrity. And sometimes we need that. There's so much that we could fill our day with. Well, if I want to feel inspired, what do I actually need to focus on so that I do it well, I do it with all my heart, and I love it. So you might have to, it's just great to look at that, and it's part of the emotions book that we often refer to as well, where you can look at those individual oils on a singular basis and get some information. So we're going to look at the inspiring blend. I actually think that the picture before was uplifting blend. This is the inspiring blend now. So chia was uplifting, and this is inspiring. Forgive me, I'll have to correct that. next time. But inspiring blend, and this is a beautiful oil. This already has fractionated coconut oil in it, which means, firstly, it's the first item listed there, which means it's like the main ingredient that's the most. Then it's cardamom, cinnamon, clove, jasmine, sandalwood, and vanilla. So then I don't know the exact formulation of how many drops, and but what we know is the first item listed is the most amount in that item. That goes for everything. When you look at, store-bought biscuits, it's the same deal. What it means aromatically is that you can pop it straight on your skin safely, okay? So you don't have to go and dilute it further. You totally can, and I would encourage you to, try on your feet first, or maybe you want to use the dilute. This would be diluted even further, if you're doing it on your children or sensitive skin. But this promotes rejuvenation and inspiring feelings while helping to dispel boredom and lack of purpose. The spicy herbal scent will help you bring out your creativity. Inspired. So whether it's and we've been talking, we're recording this today on Valentine's Day, this is often the oil people are talking about and how they're using it to promote intimacy and connections with their partner. But it doesn't just have to be in the bedroom, right? No, totally doesn't. Have you got a story with this, how you use it, Tania?
Passion for me, I do use it in the bedroom.
Yeah.
But again,
in a diffuser?
No, actually I use it straight on. I actually pop it in a little blend bowl, and I pop the passion essential oil in, and I do dilute it down further with the fractionated coconut oil.
Yeah.
And then I actually add a few drops of ylang ylang.
Nice.
Into the blend bowl. And again, it doesn't have to be, when we talk about being in the bedroom, does not need to be of a sexual nature, but it does need to be, it is about, how I've used it is about connection with our partner or loved one.
Yeah.
And it's nice to be able to have some quiet time, and that's my massage blend.
Oh, great.
Yeah, so I had that as my blend. I get that one.
Oh, great.
I want that from head to toe. It's a very it's feminine. It's really the very empowering feminine feel. It's absolutely lovely to be massaged head to toe in that, and it's connection. It's through touch.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's just taking that time without anything else. And I think maybe that's probably, I guess we probably need a little bit more of.
Yeah.
And then I return the favour for him, my husband, and he gets the Aroma Touch blend with the fractionated coconut, and we're both, at the end of it, we're just like, yeah, this is awesome.
How great. See, you've just
and the room
another. You're rejuvenated.
We are rejuvenated, and we're pretty happy with that. The room smells absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
It's really good. But if I am putting myself out there, if I have an interview, if I've got something on, or if I'm wearing, passion's something when you're putting on a certain outfit. Those outfits that you go out and you just go, yeah, I'm going to strut my stuff today.
Yeah.
Well, passion is that when I wear that. So I could be in my daggies, and I could put passion on in the roller bottle blend, and I could go to the supermarket, and I would strut myself around the supermarket, because that's what it makes you feel.
Yeah. But it's probably nicer when you keep it in the little black dress, that you put on for special occasions. Yeah, this would have been nice to wear as my wedding fragrance,
Absolutely. It's a beautiful perfume. So if you're going in, I would definitely, if you are, or any job, you could be using it to, especially if you're getting a little bit bored, if you're doing something repetitive every day, this will actually bring that bit of
boredom.
Spice back into your job, I guess, because,
very spicy. It's got some great spice to it. I gave my husband a massage with it, and his head started nodding. It was just his feet, and I know he was tired, but it was just the warmth just
Yes.
his feet tingled, and it was amazing. It was really nice to watch, knowing I did that, I put you to sleep. And I think he slept very well. So, yeah, well, I mean, we're being very real here, and a lot of these are actually empty. So we are using them very much so in our world and on a daily basis. These have 85 drops in them. So, yeah, I've probably had mine 6 months. And so because I'm not using them on a daily basis, or I'm using them to make up all the roller balls or in the diffuser, you know, I'm getting some length out of them. They're not small and you're going to use them in 1 month. But they're definitely great to have. So we love talking about them.
Absolutely.
And there's some that we use more than others. Passion I use, Cheer definitely. I have to say, this doTERRA Renewing Blend, whether I haven't had to forgive a lot of people or mine's half full, this one. But I'm glad I've got it when I just do have to, whether it's my husband I have to forgive, my kids, myself. But this is good to have, right?
Absolutely. Forgive is, I actually really do love Forgive. It is one that I do use quite often. I use it for forgiveness of myself a lot. So there are a lot of things that you think that, you know, you could have done better, or you look back and I suppose when you mull things over in your head and you just think, oh, you know, you've got your own regrets or whatever it is. Yeah, the could have, the should haves, the what ifs, you know, they're really not good to have in your head. It's not very healthy, but they come in. Forgive is amazing for that. It's completely grounding, so it's really good to ground those emotions, to not have them floating up in here. So to put it on, to ground it, it is actually quite uplifting as well. It helped bring you out of that funk. And I actually use Forgive and it's another blend called Balance, which is in our mood management kit. I actually layer them together when I'm really, really, really struggling. So,
and both Balance and Forgive there have a few woods in them, and you often think, you know, wood, tree, big,
sturdiness,
solid,
being grounded,
lots of big roots, strong roots. So you almost take that and visualize that for your life. That's how I want to be. Yes. And, you know, when you forgive, I feel like it's, you know, chopping off those branches that are maybe, you know,
dead leaves.
Dead leaves that are maybe sucking some life out of you, or attention or energy. And so, you know, if you prune that off, like, well, they'll say prune instead of chop. You know, when you prune that off, you allow the good the new growth to come through. So we love it because of the tree and herb blend, how it's beautifully put together to encourage those feelings of peace and forgiveness, and especially when you are consumed with negativity, anger or guilt, and they happen at very different times in our life for all of us. So that's why we need to have it to be prepared if and when, well, not if, the when it's going to happen.
Absolutely.
And use that, either way. And it really,
so
again,
actually
works.
Pardon?
It really works.
It does. So Forgive, the closest example I can think of for Forgive is what it smells like is when you've actually, you know, you are stressed out, or you just want some time out and you go for a walk in a little rainforest walk or a waterfall walk. And, you know, the moment you get into that little bit of denseness, into that walk, you're like, the air is clear here. You instantly, your whole body relaxes. Your head's up a little more. You've slowed down and you're actually stopped and you're looking around and you have optimism. And that's the smell of the earth and the leaves and the freshness, and that's what Forgive is.
I love that. You actually put just that. I almost visualized. No, I did visualize exactly what you described. And I found myself taking some big, deep breaths. And that's a really important part, as I said before, those big, deep breaths, giving your side, you know, if you do need to deal with these negativity or forgive yourself or someone else, go take a walk, before you want to come back and, and you might not even tell them that I've used forgive to forgive you. You don't have to go and do that. You can go and be really private, but take a walk off before you maybe come back and approach a topic or a situation. That little bit of time allows your heart rate to go down, and for you to get a little bit more control of the situation. Yeah. That's what we want you to be able to.
Yes, and if you're in a position where you can't take that walk, getting forgive out, putting it on, whether it be in the roller bottle or in your hand aromatically, especially in high stress situations, even if you don't have to forgive, but you're in high stress, having constant stress is no good for your nervous system. It really puts everything out. It puts you in fight or flight situation for your body. Yeah. So, the example that I gave before about, it just takes me back to walking in the forest. So if you can anchor that,
visualize
oil
that
with doing that, then at least if when you smell it, you can go and straight away, just release some of that stress before you keep going.
Right.
So that's how it can be used. Yep. On demand, anywhere, at any time.
On demand. You forgiveness on demand.
Yeah.
Awesome. This is our last one that we're going to talk about. And as I said, there was roughly 250 essential oils, and we're only talking about 6 minutes. And you can see how we love talking about them. And Tania and I hang out together in person, and
yes,
we look.
We can talk
where's
all
the
day.
5 hours gone? We've just talked about life and oils and coffee and food and oils, and so we're trying very hard to stay on topic here today. But Console again is one that I still have some left. I've used it. I can't remember the situations. Actually, the one that does speak to me actually was around the time that my nan passed. So that was the time that I particularly used Console Comforting Blend, and it's a beautiful, beautiful oil put together. You've got some florals there. You have the frankincense, which we've spoken very briefly about, brain health, and rose is the oil of femininity. So it's just very renewing. It helps you deal with those feelings and dispel those feelings of sadness and grief. So you have to deal with them. Give some time, particularly grief if it's loss of a loved one. Give yourself permission and time to stay there. And use the oil while you're there, and then come out of it with another one.
Yes.
So we don't want to ignore that emotion, because they're very real. But we want to then, when it's time or when you feel ready, or use one of these other essential aromatherapy oils there. So I love the rose in it. It's so sweet.
It is. Rose is just so, it's just an absolutely beautiful, it's an embracing oil, rose, I feel. I love what you said about, acknowledging what you're feeling and giving yourself the permission and the time to be in that emotion. So even though throughout this we have been talking about, what to do to get out of it, or what to use to get out of those, or to dispel those things, but there are definitely times when you do need to acknowledge, what, I just don't feel good. And you might not have a time when you are going to feel better, but Console is definitely an oil to use during those times. Because even though you're not feeling that great, or you are dealing with grief and sadness, it is good to let it run its time the way it needs to.
Yeah.
The way it needs to be. It is there for a reason, and honouring that as well. But you don't have to struggle through that.
No.
So feeling sad is that it's a feeling, and it's there, but you don't have to struggle with that sadness. it's good to have something to help you grow through
it. Again, a tool. We talk so much that these are a tool.
And when you ask that, you do want comfort. You do want to feel like that you've got a hug, and that's console for me is that it's basically it's a hug that I can put on myself, and I'm just like, I've got it, I'm good, I'm just now. And then I get into my sloppies and my comfies, and I cuddle things, and I'm just
it's okay. Yeah, well,
it's okay, exactly that. And I go,
it's okay.
It's okay. I don't feel good, but it's okay.
But I love that you said about hugging a pillow, or you put, that's a great, if you don't have someone to hug, maybe for whatever reason, maybe, they're not home for another couple of hours, or they're FIFO, you can pop these essential oils on a pillow and particularly console and hug that, and you're still smelling. I know it's not the same, but it's just another application. And and you're getting that aromatic support plus that comfort, that closeness of I love using these oils for my kids and popping it on their snugglies when they need some comfort or some peace or some maybe I need to use it more when they need to forgive each other. But, 3 boys, they just are always at each other's throats. But, that's still, you might not, or even you might have a child that doesn't want to put it on, doesn't want it on their skin. That's where putting it on a snuggly or a pillow or something external, their sheets, a bed sheet spray. That
in the diffuser.
Yes.
Have it in the diffuser, diffusing, like you're getting so much benefits by just smelling it and having it floating around in the air. It's just like, it just brings a sense of calm and just, focus. We're all good here.
We're all good. We're comforted.
Yeah.
Now, this is actually our last oil. I thought we almost forgot it. Peace. Now, this is I have to say, mum of 3 boys, I definitely use this. This is one that I have used when our kids are really anxious or really scattered, and they've been oversensitized. Is that the word? They've had too many sensory, experiences. Exposure. We've been out to a restaurant too late. We've lots of music, lots of and we love this peace reassuring blend with ylang-ylang, lavender, vetiver, marjoram, clary sage, and spearmint in it. So it really does just promote an aroma to promote peaceful feelings. I use this as well just on their feet to promote sleep and relaxation as well. So this is a great oil to have in your home. I love it.
Yes, great. Yeah, especially if there has been, and it doesn't matter whether it's families, couples, and there are things that come up in the house. There are arguments, there's tiffs, there's a bit of like that every now and again. So if that's happening and you see that there's a little bit of a trend and things like that, you can actually, especially when they're coming home from school, they're hot, they're bothered, and that's, you can time it. So, or it could be around the dinner time, or it could be around dishes time or chore time or whatever it is, but you could be preempting that and putting that in the diffuser before those times and setting the scene basically for how you're preparing for it. So, because they're breathing it all in, but they're not actually realizing that you're being a sneaky ninja and
we have that to you're be sneaky.
On them. Yeah. So, absolutely. Peace is amazing. Vetiver being in there, which is such a grounding, calming oil.
Heavy grounding oil. So it's the first thing that I smell, truthfully, when I open it. Others might smell the ylang-ylang, as that's the first. But I smell this deep, I smell the earth.
Earthy.
Yeah, as soon as I open this, I know vetiver is a base note. So if you are looking down and know a little bit of aromatherapy, base notes are the ones that often linger the most. And it's very intense, but I love that for the time. And that's where these are beautiful as well. You only need one drop. You don't need a lot of these. One drop will go a long, long way. One drop for me in my palms, if I can't sleep, if I am struggling, I've woken up middle of the night, my brain is ticking, one drop in my palm, some big deep breaths, and I'm gone again. And I often have quite a deep sleep. In the morning, I need peppermint to wake me up because it's so good. And
so vetiver is fantastic for helping to shut the brain off, that over-ticking of the brain. You know, we're always thinking there are always thoughts in there, but sometimes they can become quite loud.
That's it.
And we just can't quiet them enough for us to get the rest or the concentration or the calm that we're needing. So vetiver being in this blend is, good work, Tara, is all I have to say.
Perfectly put together. So I would, perfectly put together so that you don't have to have an aromatherapy certificate or diploma to be able to use these confidently in your home.
That's right. There's so much information. doTERRA provides heaps of information for you to be able to, as a complete greenie at this, as a complete novice, you would have your, feet up and running with these oils in absolutely no time. There's lots and lots of support. There's heaps of information that's been put out there for you.
Totally. I agree.
All you need to do is use them.
And turn to them. Get used to them.
It doesn't matter if you turn from peppermint, and it was for sleep. You learn.
You do.
With them. And you actually start, it's great because using these oils, you actually start tuning into yourself. You actually tune in and listen to what your body's needing. You start taking note when, right at the moment when you're going, okay, I'm not feeling that great, or I feel like I need something else, instead of waiting until you're in full bloom of whatever the situation or feeling or whatever it is, and then trying to come back from that. So you're actually starting right at the very beginning, or you're doing something else, using oils to preempt a different outcome before.
Yes. I agree. Again, tools. I just keep coming back to that word, that key word. It's a tool. It's a tool.
Absolutely.
We've spoken throughout today's webinar about these oils. They are the touch, which means they're pre-formulated, ready to go. You might want to have one set, so the touch kit, or you might want to have the 5 mils, or you might want to have both, so that you can pick and choose. I've got both for my reasons that suit my home, but it's up to you.
I have both.
You've got both as well. You might be comfortable to use this with a ball of fractionated coconut oil and make it the Motivate blend yourself. However, you may not. You might really want it. So the blend already ready to go. It's totally your call. You've got complete control there. So I know we've if you've got any questions, I'll pop Tania's email and my email and links to our Facebook pages. We're here to chat with you if you have any questions. What we'd love to see you, if you're watching this and this resonated with you and you thought, I really need to get some of these oils into your home, both Tania and I are wellness advocates, and we are here for the long haul. We are faithfully serving our teams, and we help you get set up with a wholesale account and then support you on your wellness journey with essential oils. So we provide, ongoing support, either in person, online, via our group. And so we do that, and we love what we get to do and who we get to meet and who
we get to talk to oils about and get excited about your own triumphs and the things that you learn. And we're always learning as well, and we're learning from you guys who start, and you teach us things as well, because we're all different. So
different.
We love to welcome you in and love to do this with you.
We totally would. So I'll pop the link to wherever you're watching this, either on our Facebook pages or our website or YouTube. We'll make sure that the links are there. So I am so thankful that you took the time to watch this. Hope it was something of benefit and service to you, that you learned something new. Thank you, lovely lady, for joining me.
Oh, thank you for having me. Love chatting, love seeing you.
Yeah, it's always
doing
good.
this with you. And yeah, thanks everybody who's watching, and yeah,
we'll check in with you again another time.
Absolutely.
All right. Have a wonderful day. Thank you.
You too. Bye.
Bye.